Hey everyone, it's Phoam Ranger here with another episode of Phoam Ranger Sports. This one we are going to introduce and recap the women's tennis 2026 season. First of all, we'll start off with the roster and then coaches and staff. Boise Women's Tennis for the 25-26 season starts off with freshman 6-footer Stella Building-Man out of Cologne, Germany. Then it's freshman Carla Grignac, 5'7", out of Dakar, Senegal. Alison Isaacs, a 5'8" senior, transferred from Old Dominion, hails from Boca Raton, Florida. Ryan Kirchner, out of Phoenix, Arizona, senior, 5'7". And retro sophomore Lourdes Marufo, 5'11", out of Boise, Idaho. Ella Piran, junior, 5'7", out of Boise, Idaho. Junior Teresa Polakova, 5'8", out of Dolny Brezhny, Czech Republic. Transferred in from Kansas State. Zdena Safarova, junior, 5'9", transferred in from Oklahoma, out of Prague, the Czech Republic. Sophomore Paula Schaefer, 5'4", out of Duisburg, Germany. And then it's Masa Variant, a 5'4" sophomore out of Kamnik, Slovenia. Head coach Beck Rogar. Assistant coach Shauna Heffernan. Bhakti Shah, assistant coach. Jake Mankin, sport administrator. Eric Cow, academic services. Katie Falk, athletic trainer. Nick Gruber, sports comms. Samantha Wade, sports nutrition. Stephanie Donaldson, sports psych. EJ Leitzinger, sports psych. And Justin Hyun, strength coach. In terms of the staff, again, Beck Rogar. Looking at his bio quickly. It's when it loads. He's been at Boise State since 2010. 3-time Conference Coach of the Year. This 25-26 was his 16th season as the women's tennis head coach. And he's also director of tennis at Boise State, overseeing both men's and women's programs. Guide the Bronco women tennis to 10 winning seasons, 176, 139 career record. Good for second most in program history. He began his collegiate coaching career at UNLV in 2007. And from 2006 to 2007, he was at UC Santa Barbara. He competed for and graduated Boise State. He played for the Bronco men's tennis from 2003 to 2005. In terms of honors and awards, in 2011 he was the WAC Coach of the Year. In 2018, Mountain West Conference Coach of the Year. 2025, Mountain West Conference Coach of the Year, and 2025 as well, IT Mountain Region Head Coach of the Year. Shauna Heffernan. She joined the program in 2024 as a coach, and before that she was part of the women's tennis team as a player, as a student athlete. Earning all Mountain West honors doubles, recognized for excellence classroom as 4-time ITA Mountain West Scholar athlete from 2021 to 2024. Probably a little similar for Bhakti Shah, because Shah was also a former Bronco student athlete that is now part of the for the 2025-26 season women's tennis staff. So basically, she went right from playing for the Broncos to being one of the assistant coaches. Now for the schedule. Well, Broncos finished 19-4 overall for 83% win percentage, 10-1 in conference play for 91%. They were 3-0 neutral, 9-2 away from home, and 7-2 at home in the spring season. And speaking of which, they started their spring campaign at home at the Boise Rec and Swim Club in Boise, Idaho, winning 5-2 against in-state rival Idaho State on January 18th. Then they went to Seattle, take on number 22 Washington, where they lost 1-6. Then at Boise Indoor Tennis Center, they lost at home to BYU on January 30th, 3-4. Took on Montana State at home, the Indoor Tennis Complex, January 30th, winning 6-1. Then at Indoor Tennis Center at Boise at home against Santa Clara, won 7-0 on February 1st. On February 6th and 143 at Cal Poly. Then they also won on February 7th, neutral side against St. Mary's and St. Louis Obispo, winning 7-0 on February 7th. Then they had 3 weeks off. Well, their next game was on February 28th against Gonzaga in Spokane, winning 4-0. Then later on the 20th, they won 4-0 against Eastern Washington in Spokane. Then March 7th, they took on Utah Tech on the road, winning 7-0. Then they started conference play on March 13th, winning 4-0 at Colorado State. Then they win the road to Wyoming, won 4-3 on March 15th. Then they hosted 63rd ranked Grand Canyon at Appleton Tennis Center, winning 4-0 on March 20th. They followed that up with a 4-1 win over number 31st ranked San Diego State at home. Then they took on Nevada at Appleton in Boise, Idaho, their home tennis court, and won 4-0. On March 27th and on March 29th, at home at Appleton Tennis Center, they lost to UNLV 3-4. Then they went on the road to San Jose State on April 2nd, winning 4-0. Then a couple days later, won by that same score 4-0 at Fresno State. Then they won on April 10th at Air Force 4-3. Then at the Boise Indoor Tennis Center, on the senior day match, which I went to, they beat New Mexico on April 12th 4-0. A fun note. Beck was wanting a hat like mine, said it would be cool for him to coach with a hat like mine, and the IT officials that were there loved the hat too. And then they ended the regular season with the win at Utah State 4-1 on April 17th. In the quarterfinal matchup in Las Vegas against number 7 Nevada, they won 4-0. In the semifinal, they lost to number 3 UNLV, the host team, 1-4 to end their season. And end their time in the Mountain West Conference. Looking at cumulative stats on overall singles, still up. Bloody Man was 2-0, winning both on the number 6 singles. Carla Grignac went 13-2 overall in singles play for an conference. Was 2-0 number 5 singles, 11-2 in number 6 singles. Allison Isaacs went 18-2 on the year in singles play, going 1-0 in number 2 singles, 0-1 in number 3 singles, and 17-1 number 4 singles. Teresa Polakova went 12-5 on the season, 3-3 in singles play, 1-0 in number 1 singles, and 5 number 2 singles. In a singles action against nationally ranked player, she was 0-1. Zdena Safarova finished 13-5 in overall singles. 7-1 in conference, 13-5 in number 1 singles. And went against an nationally ranked player, she was 0-1. Paula Schaefer went 9-6 in overall singles, 4-2 conference play, 0-1 in number 4 singles, 9-5 in number 2 singles. Evasa Variand went 14-4 overall in singles, 4-3 in conference, 14-3 in number 3 singles, 0-1 number 4 singles. As a team, the Broncos were 81-24 in singles matches and 22-9 in conference singles matches. In number 1 singles spot, the Broncos were 14-5 as a team, 12-5 number 2 singles spot, 14-4 number 3 singles spot, 17-3 number 4 singles spot, 11-5 number 5 singles spot, and 13-2 number 6 singles spot. Doubles, Stella Bieldeman went 8-6 in duels, 5-4 in conference, and she was only in the number 2 double spot. Carla Grignac went 9-8 in overall doubles, 6-3 in conference doubles action, 0-2 number 2 double spot, and 9-6 in number 3 double spot. Allison Isaacs went 2-3 overall in doubles, all for the number 2 double spot. Lourdes Marufo, 8-6 overall in doubles, 6-3 in conference doubles, and all of it was from the number 3 double spot. Teresa Polakova went 14-6 in overall doubles, 6-3 in conference doubles, 14-4 from double spot number 1, and 0-1 of both number 2 and number 3 double spots. Zdena Safarova, 14-6 overall doubles, 6-3 in conference doubles, 14-6 on double spot number 1. Paula Schaefer, 11-9 in overall doubles, 5-4 in conference doubles, 0-2 in double spot number 1, 10-6 in double spot number 2, and 1-1 for number 3 double spot. Massa Variant, 2-2 doubles action, all come from number 3 double spot. Overall, Broncos doubles action was 34-23. Overall, at 17-10 in conference doubles, 14-6 for number 1 doubles, 10-9 for number 2 doubles, and 10-8 for number 3 doubles. So overall, a pretty good season for women's tennis. Again, just like similar to the men, women were defeated in the conference tournament, losing in the semifinal. Like the men who lost in the title game. In the 24-25 season, I think the women won the regular season and the conference title for the first time in the same year. So, yeah, overall a pretty successful year for women's tennis. Again, just couldn't get over the hump against, being in the semifinal, and that is how their time the Mountain West Conference ends, and when they pick up again in the fall, probably a month or so, they will be in the Pac-12 in the spring. They will be competing in the Pac-12 conference.